Game double tap, everybody. Welcome back to no, it's not. I was gonna say something different. Welcome back to Conjury and our happy hour here on Friday today. We're gonna be taking a really cool listen to the new class that I've unlocked. It is the Overheat skill, and it is Quill. So Quill is a type of fire frost mage or frost fire mage, if you're familiar with that term. Quill uses both ice magic as defense and fire magic as offensive magic, along with some very unique ways of counteracting the meta of the monsters that you face. So Quill can be unlocked with 15 gems, and contrary to what I believed, you cannot unlock any class you want. Though I might want to offer to the developer that I don't know if it makes much difference if you unlock Quill or unlock Kita first. I think it should be your choice which particular character you unlock. They both cost 15 gems, and they both are relatively the same, but just with different mechanics. But that's just a suggestion, and my IMOs are not going to be basically premiering today. But what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be playing Quill as far as we can. Hopefully we can beat a boss. We're going to be trying Quill on both bronze and silver level keys. And eventually, hopefully, if we beat the boss on silver, we'll unlock gold key level. Keep in mind, if you're very unfamiliar with Conjury, you can check out my first couple of videos where I use Loot Off. And a Loot Off is a really easy character to get into. It doesn't have so many different mechanics, and there isn't a lot to kind of figure out. Loot Off is your basic fighter adventurer, and you can get through its level pretty easily. Now, once you start getting into Kita, the shape changer, whatever you want to call her, or when you get into Quill and his Frostfire magic, you're getting into a little bit more niche level characters. And they very much do specialize. And you're going to want to specialize right along with the character with your deck builds if you're going to be successful. So we'll be doing that today for happy hour. Glad to have all of you here. Happy Friday again. Hope you have a wonderful weekend plans ahead. But before we get started, let me go ahead and give a big shout out to MyNoise for the really cool backgrounds. I've got RPG Battleground, Volcanic Island, and a fireplace, all mixed together in one. And of course, you can find a link to MyNoise in my description, along with this game, Conjury. You can also find the link to my channel if you're having a little trouble locating my channel, which is Game Double Tap, the channel that describes absolutely everything. And on happy hour, we try to play a game that's fun for us because it's happy hour. It should be fun, right? And at the same time, we're also just taking our time and relaxing. Now, I've decided to do a little bit more of a tutorial here for happy hour because I'm not drinking and I'm not having any cocktails, so I'm having my last cup of coffee because I'm out of iPods. I'm out of K-Cups. So I am going to get some more K-Cups. Marissa's just ordered some more K-Cups. I swear I go through K-Cups so fast. Like I can drink like 4 K-Cups a day. It's pretty quiet here in my building. I've just been tidying up my apartment. For me and Marissa, it's date night. I think we're going to watch a really cool series on Netflix. She's never seen the whole Black Mirror series, so we're gonna watch. I've seen every episode of Black Mirror, and then we're actually gonna watch the interactive Bandersnatch one. We're gonna watch that one too. But yeah, we're going to try to get through Black Mirror season 1. Over the next month or so. And so that's our date night today. We're going to have some sandwiches, maybe a nice sub sandwich, tuna or egg sandwich, nice couple little soft drinks, maybe some water, have a couple little snackies, and Have a nice little date night, watch some movies, sit back, relax, and just get a good vibe going. And I hope you have also good plans here for your Friday. Hope you're going to have some fun. And if you are going to have some fun and it involves any use of any alcoholic beverages and you're over the age 21, or even if you're not age 21 and you're going to go out there and have a good time, please take a Lyft, take an Uber, or make sure that you have somebody that's going to pick you up that hasn't been drinking. And please, folks, behave yourselves. No violence. Behave yourself. Stay safe out there, and make good decisions. But yeah, I've been liking getting back to happy hour. Now you might want to say, why did I decide to do happy hour? Well, I used to do happy hour on New Def Gaming, and I used to do it every Friday. I played a game on that channel, and we did a happy hour every Friday for like a half an hour to 45 minutes. And we're going to kind of like do the same thing here every Friday. I'm going to record it as early as I can and try to get it out between the hours of 3 and 5. Now, in this case, I don't think I'm going to get it out between 3 and 5. I think you're going to probably get it around 6 p.m. So I apologize. The problem is I was tidying up, I was cleaning up, and my apartment, as always, needed a little bit of cleaning and needed a little bit of love, and I was working on that today. So anyway, so let's get into Quill. Quill is unlocked with 15 gems. You can't unlock Quill until you have unlocked Kita, and you can't unlock Kita until you get 10 gems. So 10 gems to unlock Kita, 15 gems to unlock Quill, and I assume it'll be 20 gems to unlock the next character. Now, remember, Quill has the power called Overheat, which means when Quill uses a lot of fire magic, he switches to his ice magic. And when Quill uses a lot of ice magic, he switches back over to his fire magic. So he isn't allowed to just burn all the enemies down. Along the way, Quill has some really cool things like an altar that allows him to switch between his fire and ice magic. There's also a really cool weapon that powers up every time Quill overheats. So basically, Quill overheats when his fire flares. Now, there are a couple of dynamics of Quill that I don't understand, so that's why I didn't in the title call this a tutorial. I don't think I'm qualified yet to do a tutorial on Quill. I mean, probably, but I'm just going to keep it to an introduction. And then if I get really good with Quill, I'll come back and do a full tutorial. So consider this a half tutorial, half introduction, half let's play. Or, third. One third. So, another thing to remember about Quill is you're going to get those special cards that a new class gives you. So you get all the classes that Ludolf gets. You get all the cards that Ludolf gets, but you get new cards that kind of substitute for some of the typical cards. Whereas Ludolf would get Jab, Quill will get something called Fire and Ice Attack, and they basically help you switch between your fire form and ice form. Whereas Kita, the druid, gets that ability, it's like Scratch or something, or Bite, or I can't remember what it is, and she basically does physical attacks. So, as I expect for each class in Conjury, they're each going to get their own specialized kind of cards that fit their class. So as I get to cards that are only for Quill, we'll talk about them a little bit, and then I'll give you my comments on what I think is really good. So in a week or so, Aaron and me are also going to do a little chatting. If you guys remember my series, chatting about Eldrum, chatting about other games. We're doing another chatting series on Game. That's GAME. That's my other channel. Please go over there and subscribe. I do reviews and first listens of brand new games. And I also do series where we're chatting about games. Aaron Spelker and I, Aaron Spelker of Mobile Accessible Games, and of his channel, Aaron Spelker, we're going to be doing a chatting about Conjury. where we're going to talk about the very coolest characters, the best decks, the monsters we dislike the most, and some of our cool secrets that won't give you too many spoilers. And we'll leave those for the end, so if you don't want any spoilers, you can skip the end of the video, because I don't want to spoil this game for you. It is fantastic. So spoiler alert, if you've not played Quill yet and you don't want to know what Quill does, this is a good time to save your place in this video, like it, and then come back in a couple of weeks when you've unlocked Quill. I don't want to spoil it for you, but Quill is fantastic and really fun to play. So definitely save your place here and come back later once you've gotten Quill unlocked. All right. Some other things to keep in mind with Quill is that Quill only has 15 hit points. So again, there's that weakness that Ludolf doesn't have. Ludolf has 20 hit points, and you can easily build Ludolf's hit points to 30. Whereas with Kita, and Quill, you have to really work hard to get their hit points up. You'll have to use temporary use potions and other items like the shoe, the armor. But the differences stop there with Quill. Quill is much more of a nuclear power when it comes to its spell cards. And Quill has really niche cards that allow you to power up weapons to unbelievable proportions. And there are some very cool combos that you can do when Quill is building up its Overheat. So we're gonna have a little fun with that. And I'll try to get through as far as I can. I might be able to get to the first boss, but since we're chatting so much, I expect I'll get a couple levels. All right, so let's go ahead and get started.
Ability, none. Previous character. Next character.
Let's go to our next character.
Previous character. Ability, Overheat.
Okay, now there's the ability.
Quill.
So Quill is a character unlocked with 15 gems.
Ability, Overheat.
His or its ability is Overheat.
Previous character.
And we're going to play,
Double tap to select.
We're going to play Quill on bronze key level.
Next character. About keys. Bronze key.
Let's go ahead and try
Button.
bronze.
Bronze key selected.
Bronze is the easiest level key.
Silver key. Gold key. Platinum key. Start.
And let's go ahead and start.
Map screen. Location mid _ boss. Floor 5. Disabled.
All right.
Button.
We'll start off with
Double
the
tap to
easiest possible. Again, these new classes like Quill are not easy to play, so be gentle with yourself. It's going to take you a while before you get good with them.
Location disabled. Options bar. Coins 0. Map screen. Location alter. Floor 2. Disabled.
Let's go.
Location battle. Floor 1.
Let's go floor 1.
Options bar. Storm appears. Your turn. Options.
All right. It's typical enemies.
Double tap to select.
But you're going to find out right away I have different cards.
Left weapon. Nothing equipped. Right weapon. Health 15/15. Heat 0.
All right, so heat is a new value you need to really pay attention to. So heat is your fire side magic. Ice or chill is your ice side magic. Now, your heat builds up whenever you play a card that builds up your heat. You can play all the other fire cards you want. Those won't change your heat. However, at a certain point, when you keep playing fire cards, it will make your fire or your heat meter explode. That part, I'm still not quite sure on how that works. But I do know your overheat powers can do extra damage to the enemy. And I'm still learning that. So I'll let you know when I'm ready to do a full tutorial. I'll explain more about that. You're going to notice some different things. So just make your own notes. If you have questions, you can leave those in the comments. And if those of you who are really good at the game want to answer those questions as channel friends, be my guest.
Mana 4/4.
We start off with 4 mana out of 4, like usual.
Your hand. Fire. Mana cost 1. Action. He. Deal 2 damage. Freeze.
So,
blocked. Player info. Your hand. Pyre. Mana cost 1. Action. He. Deal 2 damage. Freeze. Block 2 damage.
So Pyre
Button.
is,
Double
I
tap to
guess
select.
it's Pyre. I'm not really sure because I can't use my rotor to get the spelling. So this is the all-purpose card that Quill gets. This does fire damage or it does ice defense. Now your fire damage does damage and builds up your overheat meter. Your ice power just does blocking of damage. So this is basically your parry and your jab. You get them both in one card, which is really fantastic. And also makes your deck a lot more flexible. So when you start off with an easy enemy like a Slorm, your basic all-around like monster that just comes to kind of punch you. Slorms don't have any special ability. They typically hit from 1 to 3 damage, and they don't do anything fantastic. They don't have any ethereal abilities. They don't have poison. They don't have any abilities to paralyze you or confuse you, but they do hit. And if in large numbers, they can finish you off rather quickly, considering you only have 15 hit points. So what you want to do with Quill is try to burn down enemies as fast as possible. I'm going to do that right now, and then we're gonna keep an ear out on our heat meter and watch it build up. Okay, so let's go ahead and burn this Slorm.
Fire. Mana cost 1. Action. Heat. Deal 2 damage.
And of
Freeze.
course,
Block 2 damage.
This is
Button.
1
Double
damage.
tap to select.
This is 1 mana cost.
Fire. Fire. Mana cost 1. Select a target. Target Slorm. Health
Let's
6/6.
hit that Slorm.
Glory. Fire. Mana cost 1. Action. Heat. Deal 2 damage. Freeze. Block 2 damage.
So you hear that kind of burn
Button.
sound. So
Double tap to select.
you make like a burn sound when you hit things, but it doesn't mean you burn them with the effect of burning. Now, as I hit him with that, let's go take a peek at my meter.
Fire. Fire. Mana. Player info. Right weapon. Health 15/15. Heat 1.
See, my heat has built up to 1. So that can build up to a maximum of 3, and it will stay there. If you keep using heat abilities, it will overload. And I do believe if it's an attack when you overload, that attack will do 1 extra damage. Don't quote me though. Okay, let's go back to firing off more heat attacks.
Your hand. Fire. Mana cost 1. Select a target. Target Slorm. Health force. Fire. Mana cost 1. Action.
And
Heat. Deal.
let
Fire.
me go
Mana
back
cost
and
1.
let you
Button.
see my heat meter.
Double tap to select. Player info. Right web. Health 15/15. Heat 2.
Now my heat thing is at 2. You get it, right? The more I use these basic fire ice things, it either builds up my heat or it builds up my ice.
Your hand. Fire. Mana cost
Okay, let's
1.
go
Action.
that.
Select a target.
Said
Target Slorm.
kill this
Health
thing off.
2/6.
As always, basic
Double tap to
strategy,
select.
don't leave enemies alive because they hit hard, and if you're playing a more advanced unlockable character, you don't have as much hit points because these are more difficult characters. These are designed to test your skill levels.
Cancel. Target Slorm.
Let's
Health
kill the
2/6.
Slorm.
Fire. Slorm defeated. Plus 2 coins.
All right.
Fire. Mana cost 1. Action. Heat. Deal 2 damage. Freeze. Block 2 damage.
All right, now my
Button.
heat is now at
Double tap to
level
select.
3, and I've got a loot, so let's go get my loot.
Bottom bar. End turn. Draw a card. Weapon box.
Let's get it. Now you always
Button.
get a weapon
Double tap to
box
select.
from the first enemy you beat. And it's very important to take a very positive weapon box. And yes, Quill unlocks new weapons, so be aware of that.
Bottom bar. Weapon box.
Let's go see what weapon
Button.
box they're going to offer us.
Add to your deck.
All right, so weapon box, we have our sound, weapons. There's our weapon sound. And let's hope we get a good weapon and we'll have a happy baby goat sound.
Claymore. Mana cost 3. Weapon. Attack. 4. Durability. 2.
Claymore is
Double
a
tap to select.
fantastic weapon. It doesn't do anything weird. It has low durability, but it has 4 attack. I prefer Boomerang, but I haven't had a chance to get Boomerang to pop up. I'm falling in love with Boomerang. Boomerang is so good. But Claymore is great. I do like it.
Tonto. Mana cost 1. Weapon. Attack. 2. Durability. 3. When attacking, take 1 damage.
I don't know how to use this
Double tap to
particular
select.
weapon, Tonto. I don't know if it's a great weapon. But let me know what your experience is with it. I don't like losing health.
Spear. Mana cost 2. Weapon. Attack. 2. Durability. 2. Unequip. Draw a card.
All right, this weapon doesn't
Double
work
tap to select.
and it needs to be fixed to the developer. Spear doesn't properly interact with damage that levels its attack power. It doesn't. It doesn't work with half the cards. You could try to use focus on it. It doesn't work on it. You could try to use other abilities to increase its reinforcement. It doesn't work. So Spear is broken. If I were all of you, unless you have no choice, just skip Spear. Spear does not work right. So I'm going to go ahead and see what the other choice is.
Draw a card. Spear. Tonto. Mana
Okay,
cost 1.
that I
Weapon.
already
Attack.
had all 3
2.
choices.
Durability. 3.
So,
when attacking. Claymore. Mana
Claymore,
cost 3. Tonto. Mana
Tonto,
cost 1. Spear. Mana
Spear.
cost 2. Weapon. Attack. 2.
Obviously,
Durability. Tonto. Claymore. Mana cost 3.
Claymore is your
Weapon.
best
Attack.
choice.
4. Durability. Options.
Okay. Be aware of
Double
how
tap to
much
select.
mana it costs to use a weapon. You can put your weapon in your left hand or your right hand. It doesn't matter. Weapons do not take up both hands, so don't worry about that. Like typical fantasy games, large weapons tend to take up both hands. That's not the case with Conjury. All right, we'll equip that weapon next turn because we're out of mana. So basically the first turn, burn your enemy down. It's gonna cost you 3 mana. Pick up your weapon box, which costs no mana. Take the best weapon that fits the build that you have in mind, and then go ahead and draw a card.
Player info. Left your hand. Fire. Bottom bar. End turn. Draw a card.
Go ahead, draw a card. And a quick way to see what card you've drawn is to swipe to your left twice.
End turn. Your hand. Fire. Mana cost 1. Action. Heat. Deal 2 damage.
So I got
Freeze.
another
Block 2
pyre.
damage. Claymore. Fire. Mana cost 1.
So yeah,
Action. Heat. Deal 2 damage. Freeze. Block 2
pyre
damage.
doesn't sound right. I'm just
Button.
gonna call it fire.
Double tap to select.
I know it's not fire. I'm sure it's PYRE. But I'm gonna call it fire cards because it's just not something I'm gonna remember to say pyre. Okay, I'm gonna get a little coffee here. My last K-cup. I'm out of K-cup, so I'm actually going to pick up a couple iced coffees. I might pick up an iced coffee from my local market. I do have my favorite neighborhood market where they know me. Yes, they know my name. It's like Cheers. It's my favorite place to get snacks and stuff. I get sandwiches there. I love it. It's in my neighborhood, just a couple blocks away. I go there 3-4 times a week. In the summertime, Marissa and me, we sit outside and we enjoy a little cool drink, and we'll have some sandwiches and we'll chat with the neighborhood and stuff like that. So I might do an episode. Maybe I'll do a live episode of the channel. Maybe I'll do a live happy hour during the summer in front of the store. So if you all like that idea, let me know. Probably around June or July. So maybe I'll do a happy hour in front of the store. We'll just chit chat. I don't know if we'll play any games, but we'll chit chat and we'll have a good time. And I have promised you guys a live, and right now I haven't had a chance to do it. Those clicky clackety sounds are from Battlefield, which I built into my MyNoise. I like it. It's kind of cool. Kind of makes it more exciting. It works well with the game's very charming in-game music. All right, so we got a good weapon. We got a good card draw. We have good versatility. Now, let me let you hear my meters so you get a good understanding of how the meter works.
Player info. Left weapon. Nothing equal. Right weapon. Health 15/15. Heat 3.
Here, my heat. That's as high as your heat can go. Once your heat overheats, you're going to go into what we call ice form. Now, all those fire cards now are going to give you 2 defense when dealing with enemies. It's not much. Now, I got to warn you, that isn't going to help you much against much of the harder enemies on silver key level, and I know it's going to be very useless against gold key level enemies. However, I haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm sure there's many mitigations to deal with enemies' high attacks. So the hard part about this game is enemies' attacks, they really ramp up really quickly. You're getting hit for 4 and 6, and it gets kind of wild. And you can die really fast that way. All right, so now that we've kind of killed that first enemy,
Options bar. Options. Coins 2. Inventory.
we got 2 coins.
Button.
You usually get
Double
2
tap to select.
coins from killing a monster.
Player info. Left weapon. Nothing equipped.
So let's go ahead and end
Double
our
tap to
turn and see what new monster comes up.
Your hand. Fire. Bottom bar. End turn. Enemy turn. Left weapon. Scuttler appears. Slower
All right,
appears. Your turn.
Scuttler is another simple, no frills monster. It doesn't have any special attacks, so you just have to beat it down. Its hit points are usually 6. Now, when you get to higher key levels, the first enemies have more and more health. It goes up to 8, then it goes up to 10, then it goes up to 12, and you get the picture, right? All right, so we got a simple monster. So again, let's burn them down, and then you're going to want to listen carefully to my heat meter. It's going to flip over to ice. But first, let's go ahead and attack. Let's put our claymore on.
Your hand. Fire. Fire. Claymore. Mana cost 3. Weapon. Select a target. Equip left.
Let's equip it on our left.
Button. Fire. Mana cost 1. Action.
right.
P.
Our
Deal 2
Claymore
damage.
is on.
Freeze. Block 2 damage.
I love our Claymore. Baby
tap to
Goat
select.
loves Claymore. Yeah, Baby Goat loves Claymore. And let's go ahead and hit this thing with our fire spell.
Fire. Mana cost 1. Select a target. Target Scuttler. Health 6/6.
I'm going to try to be
Button.
quiet so you can hear
Double tap to
the
select.
overheat meter.
Target slope. Target Scuttler. Health 6/6. Fire. Mana cost 1. Action. P. Deal 2 damage. Freeze. Block 2 damage.
All right. Did you notice when I
Double
burned
tap to
it,
select.
all of a sudden a chilly ice sound came? That means that our meter has now switched over to ice. So now all those fire spells for 1 mana cost each, those cards are now ice cards, which block 2 damage. Let's let you hear my meter now.
Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Player info. Right weapon. Health 15/15. Freeze 0.
Now, as you can hear, I have a freeze meter now. This means that all of my ice spells, all of my fire cards now just block damage until I build it up to 2. And 2 is the highest that the freeze meter goes, and then it switches back to fire. So we go back and forth between fire and ice. And that's really all you really need to know when you first play Quill. After that, you just have to learn the more advanced cards and strategies. So now that we're doing ice, we can block damage. And that's how you kind of play with Quill. You have to have the correct, you have to have either chill, or what is it called again?
Mana 0/4. Your hand. Fire. Mana cost 1. Player info. Your hand. Fire. Mana cost 1. Fire. Mana cost 1. Button. Double tap to player info. Left weapon. Right weapon. Health 15/freeze 0.
You either want freeze or heat up. So freeze when you need to defend, heat when you need to do damage. And you can go back and forth between them both. All right, so let's go ahead and hit this thing with my Claymore.
Sloran. Attack 1. Player info. Left weapon. Claymore. Weapon. Select a target. Target Scuttler.
And let's
Health
kill
2/6.
this Scuttler.
Left weapon. Scuttler defeated. +2 coins. Left weapon.
Okay.
Claymore. Weapon. Attack. 4. Durability. 1.
I just
Button.
learned something.
Double tap to select.
When you attack with, okay, I just verified it because my fire spell should have only did 2 damage. But when I overheated, I did double the damage with my fire. It did 4 damage because the monster had only 2 hit points left. So that is maybe something to keep in the back of our mind and find out and verify if it works. So typically, I don't want to tell y'all something and be wrong. I would like to experiment and make sure that my hypothesis is correct. So my hypothesis is that you're going to do double the damage of the card that you use when you have heat level 3. So if it's a 6 damage heat card, it does 12. But I don't know, it might just do 2 more damage to 8. But for now, we do know we did extra damage when we switched over to freeze. All right. And by the way, there's not just heat cards, there's a ton of freeze cards. There's cards that draw, there's cards that draw cards. There's freeze cards that draw cards. There's freeze cards that I do believe might do other things. I haven't run into a lot of freeze cards. I'm sure they're going to show up once we get to gold key level. All right, my coffee's almost done. Give me a second. All right, my coffee is now officially done. I'm out of all coffee. My house is devoid of coffee. And yes, I'm so lazy, I don't want to walk the 4 blocks over to Safeway and get a little bit of customer assistance. You know what I need to do? You know what I need to do? You know what I need to do? I'm saying it 3 times because I'm telling myself. I just need to go into Safeway, learn the aisles, learn where to keep the coffee. Just go into your aisle, grab like 4 boxes of coffee, walk to the checker, and check out. And not without any customer assistance. Because really, the only thing I ever go into Safeway for is soft drinks and coffee. Like if I want groceries, I'll just order it through Uber Eats and they'll go to Safeway for me. But I really need to learn to walk into Safeway, find out where things are kept, and do it. I need to just stop being a punk and do it, okay? So, right, Baby Goat? I need to learn how to be blind. Yeah, Baby Goat approves. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make that my goal this year. Stop being a punk and just go into Safeway and learn where to keep everything. Yes, it's super annoying when you're totally blind. Yes, it is very annoying. And I hate customer service. But, I mean, I love customer service. Y'all are great. But what it is sometimes as a visually impaired person, you got to do stuff yourself, you know? Sometimes you got to do stuff yourself. All right, so we've had 2 rounds with Quill. And as you can see, Quill is very powerful. But what happens once you switch over to freeze? Well, we're going to find out. But first, let's collect our loot box.
Your hand. Bottom bar. End turn. Draw a card. Loot bag.
Oh, good. By the
Double tap to
way,
select.
as far as I know, there are 3 different prizes you can get from killing a monster. There's a weapon box, a loot bag, and a food bag. I might have the names not perfectly, but that's as far as I know. So typically the weapon box has only weapons. Now the loot bag can have weapons and cards. And the food bag can obviously have cards and food. All right, so let's go ahead. This is a loot bag, so this is probably going to have a really cool card, but let's find out.
Bottom bar. Drop loot bag.
Let's go ahead and double tap
Button.
it.
Add to your deck.
All right, so here are our choices. Y'all know how this works. You've listened to this series before. We're gonna go over each of the cards and then we'll make a decision.
Alter. Mana cost 1. Action. Fill your heat or freeze meter.
All right,
Button.
this
Double tap to
is
select.
a card that only the Quill character gets. It's an alter. This switches your deck, it switches your meter from heat to freeze, freeze to heat. Very valuable if you're in the wrong spec, okay? Spec meaning specialization.
Reinforce. Mana cost 2. Action. Give any equipment plus 2 durability.
This is a
Double tap
great
to select.
card for when you have an axe that only has 2 durability. We're likely going to take Reinforce. Reinforce is expensive, but is one of the best cards in the game, especially if you have Mirror and you can make copies of it, and if you can lower its cost by 1.
Equip. Mana cost 0. Action. Draw 1 equipment card from your deck.
Equip
Button.
is also
Double tap
one of
to
my
select.
absolute favorite cards, one of my favorite utility cards. It has 0 mana cost. It moves your deck and it draws specifically a weapon. And if you manage to keep your deck from becoming too gross, you can draw exactly the weapon you want. Here's the little first pro tip of the happy hour episode today. Don't put multiple weapons in your deck unless they're exactly what you want. Don't put weapons you hate in your deck. Take only the weapons you want. If you get a weapon box and there's nothing there you like, it's better to just draw a card than to take a bad weapon. Nothing worse than a bad weapon to distract you, ruin your strategy, and make you lose. You're gonna have to restart anyway. And by the way, they give you so many weapons, there's no need to get desperate when it comes to weapons. All right, so let's find out what our choice. Let's go through our choices again without me talking through everything.
Reinforce. Mana cost. Alter. Mana cost
Alter,
1. Action. Fill your heat or freeze meter.
Good, but we get
Button.
that's a very
tap to select.
common card to get, so we're going to skip that one.
Reinforce. Mana cost 2. Action. Give any equipment plus 2 durability.
This gives
Button.
any
Double tap to select.
equipment, whether a shield, a quiver, a crossbow, or a basically melee weapon plus 2 durability. Absolutely fantastic.
Equip. Mana cost 0. Action. Draw 1 equipment card from your deck.
And this is
Button.
a utility
Double tap to
draw
select.
card. Its category is for drawing things in your deck, so it's a searcher. It's absolutely awesome. It's the second best pick. But we're going to go ahead and take, though it's really tempting to take Equip because it costs us no mana. Ooh, and we can also go get our weapon back. But then if our weapon doesn't break, we don't need Equip. So let's go ahead and take Reinforce.
Reinforce. Mana cost 2. Action. Give any equipment plus 2 durability.
Let's take Reinforce.
Inventory.
All right,
Button.
now that we have
Double tap to select.
Reinforce, we have a good start to our build. We have a good weapon. We have a good way to keep our durability of our weapon up.
Storm. Attack 1. This enemy intends to attack you.
All right, so pay attention to how much damage enemies do, and They're also going to tell you what they're going to do. And if an enemy has a really special ability, for the most part, the game is really nice about telling you what they're going to do.
Health 4/6.
It also will tell you if you're going through its status, how much health it has. So the game is gotten really clean. As I said before, even in my first episode of Conjury, its user interface was really clean. And I do believe this developer is extremely serious about making this one of the best games that's going to exist. Again, this game very well could be Game of the Year for me this year on Game Double Tap. Again, I didn't do a Game of the Year episode because Christmas was extremely busy. And of course, you know I love y'all, but I will do a Game of the Year this year. But if you want to hear my top games of 2023, swing by Aaron Spelker's channel. Myself, Jesse Anderson, and Aaron Spelker, we had a whole round robin panel discussion talking about the best games of 2023. You can swing by there and please like, comment. And don't forget to tell Aaron that I sent you. And you can also swing by Mobile Accessible Games. I think Aaron Spelker has reviewed more than 100 different games. Also, don't be shy, check out Apple Viz. You can get their newsletter. You can be a commenter on their forums. You can find out so much powerful information. You can also swing by Illegally Cited, which is run by Jesse Anderson. He's always revealing really cool games, and he even is visually diverse enough to play some really sick platform games. He does like to blow stuff up. He loves to shoot stuff. So in game, don't get your brain twisted, you know. But yeah, swing by Jesse Anderson. And if you're looking to play some party games, Liam Irvin also does some really cool games. I think he has a chat every Friday, so I don't know exactly what time it is. I think it's earlier in the day. But swing by his channel also if you want to check out some really good, positive, accessible games, party, community games, stuff like that. Social games, that's the word I'm looking for. All right, so now we got two good positive cards we've added to our deck. We've added Reinforce and we've added, Gauntlet. So we're looking pretty good. So I like that. And Gauntlet's a great name. Do you remember that RPG in the arcade called Gauntlet, where I used to have Wizard is about to die? I used to love that game. Oh my God, I love that game. That is a hard game. And that's a great game to screw your friends over in. It's taking food when they need it. Oh my God. I swear to God, I could go back and play Gauntlet, even as a person who's visually impaired, because you just shoot, kill everything that moves, and hopefully you don't shoot the food. Oh my God, I really want a video arcade game. I don't know what game I would put in my house, but if I had a choice, I would put an arcade game in my apartment. What do y'all think the arcade game that would be the most accessible? What I feel I want to put in my apartment would be Ninja, maybe a Ninja, maybe a shooter, a Kyra Warriors or something. I think a shooter would be too hard because I can hit with the little tiny pellets. Street Fighter, what do you guys think? Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. I want to buy an arcade game and put it in my apartment. What do y'all think I should get? What game do you guys think would be the best accessible arcade cabinet game to put in my house? So let me know. No, I didn't hit the lottery. It's just I want to dream about
Action.
it.
Heat. Deal 2 damage.
All right.
Freeze. Block 2 damage.
Again, it's happy hour, so we're very
Double tap to
chatty. I'm just, like I said, this is the time I'm relaxing. This is my chance to talk with you all. And no, this isn't live, but this is how I feel when I'm around all of you. You know, I don't ever like to miss recording on Friday with all of you, because you all make me feel wonderful. And I just want you to know that. And that's really because you all are wonderful. And I want to thank all of you for the comments. I apologize. I know I am so far behind on comments, but I want to thank you, all of you, very much. and y'all know who you are, Heather, Giant Albrecht, all of you who just dropped these wonderful comments. I got several of you who are really sweet. I appreciate you so much. Marissa, I appreciate you. You all know, I really thank you for your constant comments. I had a couple of you checking out my videos. Thank you. Aaron, thanks for watching the video. Thank you all for checking my videos out. I really appreciate that. I just hope that I can get to the comments. All right, so we got good stuff. Let's see what we got
Player
here.
info. Left weapon. Storm. Attack 1. This enemy in health
He's
4/6.
got 4 health. So let's go ahead and find out what our mana is.
Player info. Left weapon. Right weapon. Health 15/15. Freeze 0. Mana 0/4.
Okay, we got 0 mana. He's gonna hit us for 1 damage. Let's go ahead and
Your hand. Fire.
take
Mana
the
cost
damage.
1. Bottom bar.
It's
Enter.
only 1 damage.
Draw a card. Options bar. Inventory. Storm. Attack 1. Player info. Your hand. Bottom bar. End turn.
Let's can we
Your hand.
turn?
Reinforce. Bottom bar. Draw a card. Disable.
No.
End turn.
Let's end our turn.
Enemy turn. Storm deals 1 damage to you. Rat appears. Your
Okay,
turn.
we got a. Okay, so typically when the enemy hits you once, they build up their attack power. So they'll double their attack power. So if they were at 1, they'll go to 2. If they were at 2, sometimes they'll go to 3, depending on the difficulty key you're on. So typically, the newer enemies that come to help this enemy are going to have 2 attack. So you're going to take typically anywhere from 2 to 4 damage. So be careful. Remember, Quill doesn't have a lot of hit points. So at this point, kill off the enemies that are damaged. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and reinforce our axe so it doesn't break.
Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Fire. Mana cost 1. Fire. Mana cost reinforce. Mana cost 2.
Let's
Select a target.
reinforce.
Apply to left weapon.
So it's going to
Button.
say apply.
Double tap to select.
Now, the user interface will not let you apply something to a weapon, or it won't let you apply a card to a weapon or armor piece that can't use it. So don't worry about that. It's going to tell you which side you can apply it to. In this case, it immediately says, do you want to apply reinforce to your left weapon? And if it was in my right hand, it would say, do you want to apply to your right weapon? So go ahead and apply it to the weapon side that it just alerted you. If you haven't remembered which side you want to apply the reinforce to, you can cancel the use of it and you won't lose the card. And then go ahead, go through the user interface and see which weapon you'd like to add more reinforcement to, which gives it more durability. In this case, it will be 2 more durability. So in this case, I'm fine. So
Cancel. Apply to left weapon.
let's apply it.
Fire. Mana cost 1. Action.
So,
Key.
there
Deal 2
we
damage.
go.
Freeze. Block 2 damage.
You'll hear that whoosh.
Button.
So that whoosh
Double tap to
sound,
select.
that whoosh sound means that the card was effectively used. There are lots of cute little sounds that give you confirmations, so you'll have to pay attention to those. In this introduction, I'm trying to be quiet when I do a card sound, so you can hear the intricacies of the card sound.
Player info. Left weapon.
So now
Play
I've
more.
used
Weapon.
2
Attack.
mana.
4. Durability. 3.
Remember I told you I was going to let you
Double tap to
hear
select.
what the freeze does? So let's go ahead and let you hear what the fire cards do now.
Your hand. Fire. Mana cost 1. Action. Key. Deal 2 damage. Freeze. Block 2 damage.
So as you can hear, the freeze blocks 2
Double tap to
damage.
select.
Let's go ahead and...
Fire. Mana cost 1.
Let's
Select a target.
activate
Target
it.
rat. Attack 1.
So the rat has
Button.
1 attack.
Double tap to
Let's
select.
go ahead and block it. Now listen to the sound that freeze mode makes with this card.
Fire. Mana cost 1. Action. Key. Deal 2 damage. Freeze. Block 2 damage.
So
Button.
the fire
tap to select.
card now becomes like parry. So it's gonna block 2 damage. That's what happens when you're in freeze mode. It used to do fire damage, but you're only gonna do fire damage when you're in heat mode. I'm gonna let you check out my meter.
Player info. Left. Right weapon. Health 14/15. Freeze 1.
See, now I'm in freeze mode. Now I'm building up my freeze mode. So now it's gonna take 2 or 3 times for me to build back up into heat mode, okay? So for now though, I think I can kill that monster. I can kill that first brawler. So I'm not gonna waste a fire card, which is now an ice card. I'm not gonna waste an ice defensive card on that character. I'm just gonna kill it with my axe.
Your hand. Fire. Mana cost 1. Player info. Left weapon. Claymore. Weapon. Attack. 4.
Claymore.
Durability. 3.
I meant to say
Button.
Claymore. Claymore is
Double tap to
basically
select.
a large sword. So I'm sorry about that. Claymore is like a two-handed sword.
Right weapon. Left weapon. Claymore. Select a target. Target rat. Health 6/6. Target rat. Target Slorm. Health 4/6.
Let's go ahead and kill the Slorm.
Button. Left weapon. Slorm defeated. Plus 2 coins. Left weapon. Claymore. Weapon.
All right, we
Attack.
got 2
4. Durability.
coins.
2.
Let's find out if we
Button.
got a nice little
Double
loot.
tap to select.
Don't worry about the rat, because now that you're in ice power, all of these little 1 mana cards are all parries, which is great.
Your hand. Fire. Bottom bar. End turn. Draw a card. Loot bag.
We got a nice
Button.
loot bag. Let's see what
Double
we
tap
got.
to select. Add to your deck.
So another loot bag. Remember, loot bags are typically cards, but they can be other things.
Sharpen. Mana cost 2. Action. Give the weapon plus 3 attack.
Now, Sharpen
Button.
is one of
Double tap to
the
select.
better cards. Sharpen remains in effect forever. It's not just for this turn. So one of the things to pay attention to in Conjury is the after description. So it will typically tell you if the card works for 1 turn, the whole game, or only 1 time the whole game. So gotta pay attention to what cards' special effects are. They're very specific, and you have to experiment with them because sometimes you don't always get it right. Even I'm learning. So I've thought I had a card right and I had it totally wrong. And again, depending on what situation you're in, cards don't always work the same. So be prepared. It's a learning curve, but it's not very steep. It's actually very enjoyable to learn the cards in Conjury. All right, so Sharpen is a great card. Will give us 3 attack. Sharpen works great with Reinforce, so I can keep giving my weapon ludicrous amounts of power. So that's pretty much a great pick for us for our 3rd card added to our deck. Keep in mind, don't make your deck too big or else you won't be able to draw the cards you need. Because right now, we're just working on weapons, but this is not all we can use. There are even better weapons, and they don't come always right away. Don't worry about equipables or trinkets or potions. Those go into your inventory. You don't have to equip those, thank God. All right, for now though, let's go ahead and check out the 2nd card. So right now, the 1st card was Sharpen, an excellent choice.
Blaze. Mana cost 2. Action. Heat. Deal 6 damage. You can only play this when your heat level is over 1.
All right, Blaze is
Double tap to select.
a next level fire card. Only works when you have the heat button up, heat meter. I keep saying different. When you have the heat up, when you have your heat meter on, Blaze works. But there's a second condition for Blaze. You also need to have your heat level to level 2 or higher, or else Blaze won't work. The other thing is you need to have 2 mana to use Blaze. So remember, do not overload your deck with Blaze until you become a little bit more experienced with the card.
Blind. Mana cost 3. Action. Deal 5 damage. Costs 1 less for each weapon equipped.
Blind is a great card,
tap to
but it's
select.
also extremely expensive. Once you start doing over 4 damage, there starts to be some serious drawbacks to using those cards. I don't like Blind. It's a terrible card, has a terrible name, and it doesn't work very well, and it isn't efficient in any way, shape, and form. My opinion is one of the worst cards you can pick, so skip it.
Draw a card.
You can also draw a card. If
Double
none
tap
of
to
the
select.
cards you see or hear are good, just go ahead and draw a card, and all the cards offered to you will be dumped. They won't be put in your deck, they'll just be dumped. So, we had 3 choices.
Blind. Blaze. Sharpen. Mana cost 2.
Sharpen.
Action. Give the weapon plus 3 attack.
Gives a weapon 3 attack
Button.
permanently
Double tap
until
to select.
it's destroyed.
Blaze. Mana cost 2. Action. Heat. Deal 6 damage. You can only play this when your heat level is over 1.
We have Blaze,
Button.
a
Double tap to
higher
select.
level fire card that does 6 damage.
Blind. Mana cost 3. Action. Deal 5 damage. Costs 1 less for each weapon equipped.
And we have Blind,
Button.
a nuke
Double tap to
card
select.
that isn't related to fire, but has some really serious drawbacks, including its name. So, let's go ahead and select the obvious choice, which is Sharpen.
Blaze. Sharpen. Add to your deck. Sharpen. Mana cost 2. Action. Give the weapon plus 3
Sharpen is
attack.
great,
Button. Add to your deck. Sharpen. Mana cost inventory.
and Sharpen has been
Button.
added to our deck.
Double tap to
so,
select.
we've equipped the Claymore, we've blocked an enemy, so now we don't have to worry about this enemy attacking us. So when you're in ice mode, you can't do damage with your ice cards. So it's no point in hitting the enemy with another ice card. However, it will increase your freeze meter. It will move your freeze meter toward going over to heat. Now, I don't yet know what maxing out your freeze meter does to enemies if you hit them with freeze. I don't know. What I'm hoping it does is it freezes everybody's attack and lowers and prevents them from hurting me. But I'm gonna have to do some pretty heavy duty experimentation and research to figure that out. For now, there's a card called Alter that will let you switch over to your other spec, your heat spec, and then start doing damage again. So if you've got a couple of ice or heat cards respectively, keep about 1 or 2 in your hand, because for certain cards to be played, like Blaze, you need to have a couple of levels of heat. Remember, heat starts at level 0, so you need to play at least 3 heat cards to be able to play Blaze. That's a big drawback, which is why I emphasize do not add too many Blaze cards to your deck. 1 is fine. Again, keep your deck simple and sweet. That's the best way to do well in Conjuring. If you're in a very tough boss fight, the worst thing to do is have an overly complex deck that doesn't run right. I have lost so many times because I made my deck overly complicated. I mean, when my deck works, it's beautiful, but when my deck is clogged, it's not beautiful. I might want to also emphasize to you, have cards that reshuffle your entire hand back into your deck. That's a great way to get a restart and build a better hand, okay? All right, so, and also having a way to discard cards is also possibly a new avenue of research I might get into, because I've actually lost many battles because my hand was so clogged. Because I'm so good at drawing cards from all the practice I get. I mean, I'm playing this game 4 or 5 hours, sometimes late night. I mean, I get so much practice, I know how to draw cards all the time. But what I'm running into now is that my hand is so full, I don't have any space. So I'm trying to find the perfect cards that can kind of redecorate my hand and get some utility. I'm going to be looking for a card that's going to fit that particular category. All right, so now we have 1 more mana. We're probably going to draw a card.
Inventory. Button. Rat. Attack 0. This enemy. Health 6/6. Player info. Right weapon. Nothing
Right
equal.
weapon.
Health 14/15.
We only have 1 damage we've taken, so we have 14 health out of 15.
Freeze 1.
We have our freeze menu at 1.
Mana 1/4.
And we have 1 mana, so let's go ahead and draw a card.
Your hand. Pyre. 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 Mana. Sharpen. Mana cost 2.
We got
Action.
sharpen.
Give a weapon plus 3 attack.
Actually,
Button.
wait.
Pyre. Sharpen. Mana cost 2. Action.
Oh,
Give
it's
a
a
weapon
2
plus 3
mana.
attack.
We can't use sharpen.
Button.
It's mana cost 2.
Double
I
tap to
forgot to
select.
mention that.
Bottom bar. End turn.
Let's draw a card.
Draw a card.
Okay, we got draw a card.
End turn. Your hand. Pyre. Mana cost 1. Action. Heat. Deal 2 damage.
Oh, we drew
Freeze.
another
Block 2
fire.
damage.
Great.
Bottom bar. Draw. Options bar. Inventory. Rat. Attack 0.
And you can swipe down to get to see if you have any loot boxes left. Remember, if you swipe down and there's no loot box, it will bring you back up to the top. Love it or leave it. I'm not a big fan of warping back up to the top. I'd like to go in any direction I want. Again, I mentioned that last video, so I'm not going to reiterate that particular suggestion. I like to keep my games positive, so if I have a strong opinion about something, I'll mention it once or twice, and after that, I just leave it alone. Let's see.
This enemy in health 6/6.
Okay, let's go ahead and since we drew a card, we got the perfect card, which is another fire card. Let's go ahead and end our turn.
Player info. Your hand. Pyre. Bottom bar. End turn. Enemy turn. Pyre. Slime appears. Your turn.
All right, now we have a slime. So remember, we're still on freeze. So let's go ahead and weaken some of these creatures' attack power. Also, keeping in mind, we also have our weapon, which we can also put sharpen on our weapon and kill almost anything.
Player info. Left weapon. Claymore. Weapon. Attack 4. Durability 2.
Let's go
Button.
ahead and sharpen
Double
our
tap to select.
claymore.
Your hand. Pyre. Mana cost 1. Act. Pyre. Sharpen. Mana
Let's go
cost 2.
sharpen.
Select a target. Apply to left weapon.
Let's apply to left weapon.
Pyre. Mana cost 1. Action. Heat. Deal 2 damage. Freeze. Block 2 damage.
All right.
Button. Double
So
tap to-
now, all right. So let's keep going here. Had a brief interruption. but we're going to try to, next 20 minutes or so, wrap this video up. It's not going to be as long as usual for our happy hour. And I feel like we've gone a little bit more toward tutorial, so that's fine. So let's keep going here.
Fire. Mana cost 1. Button. Double fire. Mana cost 1.
Okay, what did
button.
I think I have 1 mana left.
Left weapon. Right weapon. Health 14/15. Freeze 1. Mana 2/4.
Oh, we have 2 mana left because we use sharpen. All right, so what I do with weapons is pay attention to how much durability a weapon has. Never break a weapon unless the weapon has a benefit for breaking. Save your weapons for when you need them because they're really sometimes difficult to get back. In fact, the deck will continue to recycle weapons. I don't know if that's what the developer intended, but it feels like the weapons come back over and over again. If you've experienced this, let me know. If the developer wants to put it on true hard mode, then a weapon should never come back if it's equipped. But I'm just throwing it out there because you know, y'all, how I do it. I like to make things hard. So I just wonder if that's what the developer wanted or if the developer intentionally decided that he or she or they would be a little easier on us when it comes to weapons. So we'll get into that in the future. I'll find out if higher level keys make getting weapons, acquiring weapons harder. Now, of course, there is a situation where you can have 2 of the same weapons, 2 identical weapons. And in that case, you're going to draw weapons more often. All right, so we got 2 mana left. We got sharpen on our gauntlet, on our claymore.
Your hand. Fire. Mana cost 1.
We
Action.
got
Deal 2
fire,
damage. Fire. Mana cost 1.
They're ice now.
Fire. Mana cost 1. Fire. Mana cost 1.
We got
button.
4 fires.
Fire. Mana cost 1. Bottom bar. Enter.
5 fires. We only
Button.
have 2 more spaces
Double tap to
left
select.
in our hand. So what I feel we're going to do is let's draw 1 more card.
Options bar. Options. Slime. Attack 2. Rat. Attack 2. Player info. Left your hand. Fire. Bottom bar. End turn. Draw a card.
Let's draw a card. Actually,
Double
we
tap
don't
to
have
select.
to draw a card. We can actually probably kill what's on the board. Okay, first let's freeze. Let's kill one thing and let's freeze the attack of the other.
Your hand. Fire. Player info. Rat. Attack 2.
The rat's gonna hit for 2.
This enemy intends to attack you. Health 6/6.
It's got 6 health.
Player info. Left weapon. Rat. This attack 2. Slime. Health 6/6.
The slime's got 6 hit points.
This enemy intends to attack you.
And it's gonna attack.
Attack 2.
And it's got 2 attacks. So let's kill the rat, okay? So we can kill it with 1 shot with our weapon.
This enemy attack 2. Options bar. Inventory. Slime. Attack 2. Rat. Attack 2. Player info. Left weapon. Claymore. Weapon. Attack. 7. Durability. 2.
We got 2 durability, 7 attack.
Double tap to select a target. Target slime. Health
Let's kill the
6/6.
rat.
Target slime. Health
Rats tend to
6/6.
hit harder.
Target rat. Health 6/6. Left weapon. Rat defeated. Plus 2 coins. Left weapon.
All
Claymore.
right.
Weapon.
2 coins.
Attack. 7. Durability. 1.
You know, I like to get
Button.
that. I love
Double
the
tap to
money. I love the money. Let's get our loot. At this point, I think we're probably get a food bag.
Your hand. Fire. Bottom bar. End turn. Draw a card. Loot bag.
No, we got another loot
Button.
bag. That's cool.
Double tap
'cause
to select.
Let's see what we get this time.
Add to your deck.
Okay, what are we going to add to our deck? Possibly.
Cover. Mana cost 4. Action. Block 4 damage. Costs 1 less for each point of damage your strongest weapon has.
All right, cover.
Button.
That's really cool.
Double tap to select.
Now, this card works really well with a high damage weapon card.
Add to your deck. Cover. Mana cost 4. Action. Block 4 damage. Costs 1 less for each point of damage your strongest weapon has.
So this is free. This
Double tap to
card
select.
is free because of our weapon. So cover could be very valuable, but we also would have to make sure that our claymore was up.
Burst. Mana cost 4. Action. Heat. Deal 6 damage. Cost 1 less for each heat you had.
All right, now this is a new card.
Double tap to select.
This is Burst. So Burst is a weird card. It's very high cost for mana, but if you have a level 2 or level 3 heat, it's only going to cost you 1, and it's going to do 6 damage. This is a very situational card. I've lost games because I had too many of these because I wanted to be a pyromaniac. So be careful with this card. This is a more advanced card. So if you're new to playing Quill, be careful with these expensive cards.
Coax. Mana cost 1. Action. Block 4 damage. Lose 2 coins if you have any.
I hate
Button.
Coax is
Double
one
tap
of
to select.
the worst cards. Again, it's right up there with Blind because it's going to cost you 2 coins. Let me tell you something. There are so many things I've wanted to buy that I was short by 2 coins. Don't use Coax. It's absolutely the worst block card. There are so many better block cards like Desire, like the one at the very top. Coax is one of the worst cards. I'm actually going to give you the top 5 worst cards in the game of Conjury. We'll do a video on that. Coax is right up there with the top 5 worst cards. Worst cards. All right. Excuse me. Sorry. Let's go ahead, since we know that we don't want Coax.
Burst. Mana cost 4. Action. Heat.
We don't
Deal 6
want
damage.
burst.
Cost 1 less. Cover. Mana cost 4.
Let's go
Action.
ahead
Block 4
and
damage.
take
Cost
cover.
1 less for each point of damage your strongest weapon has.
Cover is situational,
Double
but
tap
it's
to select.
also efficient. So
Burst. Cover.
let's
Mana
take
cost
cover.
4. Add inventory.
Okay, we got
Button.
cover.
Double tap to select.
All right, so now we've got a really strong defensive card. And no, even though you are playing a very highly offensive deck, you've got to make sure that you don't get rid of, you got to make sure you're not one-dimensional. You've got to have a way to defend yourself because you can't rely on your ice. It only blocks 2 damage. If you're fighting a boss, you're going to need Desire. Of course, the card I just took is also pretty effective in this particular deck build. I prefer Desire, and I prefer having a shield that gives me the ability to get both effects of Desire. So we'll talk about that later in the next episode that I do on Quill. I will do a full playthrough of Quill through all the way to the boss. So can't get to it today. Looks like today I'm not going to have a lot of time. So I'm going to try to wrap this up real quick. I'm going to get this battle done, and then I'm going to wrap this up.
Slime. Attack 2.
Let's go with
This enemy. Health 6. Player info. Left
okay,
weapon,
we killed
Claymore,
the other
attack,
one, so
7,
let's just
durability,
block
1.
Slime's damage.
Your hand. Higher. Mana cost 1. Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Higher. Mana cost 1. Action. Select a target. Target slime. Attack 2.
Let's block
Button.
its
Double tap
damage.
to select. Higher. Mana cost 1. Action.
All right,
Heat.
so you
Deal 2
heard
damage.
that clack.
Freeze. Block 2
That
damage.
means we blocked its damage. If you want
Double
to
tap
make
to select.
sure if you have blocked its damage, swipe up once.
Player info. Left weapon. Claymore. Weapon. Slime. Attack 0.
Stop. In this case, I have to swipe up twice. So swipe up until you get to the enemies, and then swipe to the left or right to make sure that you've already gotten all its damage mitigated.
This enemy intends to attack you. Health 6/6. This enemy. Attack 0.
And there, you can hear it. Its attack is 0. This is how you know it won't do any damage to you. All right? So that's very important. The interface is really sweet in that it works really clean, and that's your time to find out. It's really good to pay attention to how much damage enemies are going to do to you. It's not so important to block enemies' damage if they're going to do 1 damage, but it's very important to block enemies' damage if it's going to be 3 or 4, or worse yet, if they're going to do fire, poison, paralysis, or confuse to you. Those are very bad. All of those are bad, unless you have mitigations like trinkets and special cards that prevent it. All right, so now that we blocked all the damage from the slime, we've killed one of its friends, we've got a nice amount of loot. Let's find out if we have any more mana left to draw a card.
Player info. Left. Right weapon. Health 14. Freeze 2. Mana 1/4.
Yeah, we have 1 mana. Let's draw a card.
Your hand. High. Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Cover. Bottom bar. End turn. Draw a card.
Let's draw a card. What is it?
End turn. But your hand. Higher. Mana cost 1. Action. Bottom bar. Draw. Options bar. Inventory. Coins 8. Slime. Attack.
hold on.
Player info. Left weapon.
It's really
Claymore,
sometimes-
Weapon. Attack. 7. Durability.
Getting
1.
to hear your whole hand is
Button.
a little...
Your hand. Higher.
Sometimes
Mana
a
cost
little
higher.
tricky.
Higher. Mana cost 1. Button.
Excuse me.
Double. Higher. Mana cost 1. Cover. Mana cost 0.
Cover.
Action. Higher. Mana cost 1. Action. Heat.
I will get
Deal 2
another
damage.
fire card.
Freeze. Block. Bottom bar. End turn.
All right, cool. All right,
Button.
so we got tons
Double
of
tap to select.
cards. Our deck is working great. Again, if you haven't used up all your cards, your deck just keeps recycling forever. So don't worry about that. All right, so what we're gonna do, and that's where search cards like equip come in. So if you're looking for equip weapons so you can get your other hand, your right hand or your left hand respectively equipped, then that's where getting the 0 cost equip card comes in. My top 5 favorite cards I'm going to do, it's actually a top 10. My top 10 favorite cards, I will do an episode on that on game. There's reasons for it. What I basically do in that kind of episode is mention the card, what it does, and I'll tell you situationally how you use it and my opinions about it. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, swing by game. And again, on game, I do a lot of like tutorials, reviews, and I basically just do kind of like quicker videos, like no more than 20, 30 minutes. All right, now that we got that all set, let's, I can hit this creature.
Your hand. Fire. Mana cost 1. Player info. Left weapon. Claymore. Weapon. Attack. 7. Durability. 1.
Okay, we can't. Our weapon's
Double
about
tap
to
to
break.
select.
So let's wait till reinforce comes back. Now, if we get desperate, we will break the weapon, but I don't want to right now. So
Your
let's.
hand. Fire. Mana cost 1.
Let's
Action.
fire it
Deal
up.
2 damage. Freeze. Block 2 damage.
I think it's already
Player
been
info.
blocked.
Left weapon. Claymore. Slime. Attack 0.
Yeah, he has no attack. So let's wait to let's wait till our heat meter turns on.
This enemy. Health 6. Player info. Right weapon. Nothing equipped. Health 14/15. Freeze 2.
Okay, we got our freeze menu up. So I can actually flip over to my heat meter by hitting this creature with another ice. If I want to waste it, but I don't want to. All right, so let's go ahead and end our turn.
Your hand. Fire. Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Fire. Bottom bar. Draw a card. Disable. End turn.
It's end turn.
Enemy turn. Fire. Slorm appears. Your turn.
All right, now we got another Slorm, and let's go ahead and nullify this creature's attack. Let's find out what card we drew, though.
Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Claymore. Mana cost 3. Weapon.
Oh,
Attack.
cool.
4. Durability. 2.
We got our Claymore
Button.
back. Let's equip
Double tap to
that.
select. Select a target. Equip left.
Now, don't put it on your left weapon
Double
because
tap
it
to
will
select.
overwrite your left weapon and it will disappear. Put it in your right weapon.
Equip right. Fire. Mana cost 1. Action. Heat.
Now-
Deal 2 damage. Freeze. Block 2 damage.
That isn't the same
Button.
Claymore that you've
Double tap
already
to select.
equipped. That's a new Claymore that hasn't been built up. So if you want to build that one up, you're going to have to systematically do that.
Bottom bar. End turn.
Let's go.
Your hand. Fire. Mana cost 1. Action. Heat. Deal 2 damage. Freeze.
Now,
Block 2
we have
damage.
to pay attention to what damage these
Button.
little creatures are going to do.
Double
So
tap to
let's go
select.
ahead and
Select a target. Target slime. Attack 1.
let's,
Target slorm. Attack 1.
these both are
Button.
going to do 1 damage.
Double tap to
Let's
select.
just block the
Target slime. Attack 1.
slimes.
Fire. Mana cost 0.
Now, there
Action.
you go.
Heat. Deal
I
2 damage.
blocked it,
Freeze.
and
Block
now
2
I'm
damage.
back on heat. So that's
Button.
good. I want it to be
Double
on
tap to
heat
select.
because I want to do some damage. So, but the bad thing is the Slorm's going to do 1 damage.
Fire. Mana cost 1. Action.
But let's go
Heat.
ahead and
Deal
do
2
some damage to
Freeze.
it.
Block 2 damage.
Oh, but by the way, we forgot. We
Double
also
tap to
have
select.
that card.
Cover. Fire. Cover. Mana cost 0. Action.
0
Block 4 damage.
cost.
Cost 1 less for each point of damage your strongest weapon
But
has.
this is overkill. Cover is
Double
overkill
tap to
for these
select.
creatures. Let them do a little damage to you. You have plenty of health. At this stage, you don't want to overuse cards. So let's wait till somebody's going to do a lot of damage, like maybe 3.
Fire. Mana cost 1.
Let's go ahead
Action.
and burn
Heat.
it.
Not enough mana.
Oh, we don't have enough mana. We couldn't have done anything, but we can cover, but we're not going to. I don't want to waste it, so let's go ahead and end our turn.
Bottom bar. End turn. Draw a card. Disable. End turn.
Let's end our... Oh,
Button.
actually,
Double
we
tap to select.
could attack with our other weapon. Maybe. Let's go do that.
Your hand. Fire. Bottom bar. Draw a card. End turn. Draw a card. Options bar. Coins 8.
Let's attack with our new weapon.
Coins 8. Slime. Attack 0. Slorm. Attack 1. Player info. Left weapon. Right weapon. Claymore. Weapon. Attack 4.
Let's
Select a
attack
target.
with,
Target slime. Health 6/6.
We can hit the slime.
Target slorm. Health 6/6.
Let's hit this
Target
slime.
Health 6/6. Right weapon.
At
Claymore.
least
Weapon.
weaken
Attack
it a little
4.
bit.
Durability.
So
1.
we can overheat it with 1
Button.
attack.
Double
All
tap
right.
to select.
Let's
Your
go.
hand. Fire. Bottom bar. End turn.
Let's end our turn.
Enemy turn. Slorm deals 1 damage to you. Slorm appears. Your turn.
All right, now we have 3 enemies, so we're getting a full house here. So let's be more careful. So now we have fire up. So now let's find out what card we drew.
Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Fire. Mana cost 1. Action. Heat. Fire. Mana cost 0. Cover. Mana cost 0.
Yeah, we have
Action.
a lot of
Block
fire
4 damage.
cards, so let's
Cost
just
1 less for
burn
each point of
everybody
damage.
down.
Player info. Left weapon. Claymore. Your hand. Fire. Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Fire.
Let's
Mana cost.
burn
Select a target.
down
Target
the
slime. Health 2/6.
slime.
Fire. Slime defeated. Plus 2
Slime's
points. Fire.
done.
Mana cost 1. Action.
Let's
Heat.
check
Deal
our-
2 damage.
let's see
Freeze.
what it
Block 2.
dropped.
Bottom bar. Food bag.
Oh, a food bag.
Button.
So food bag, we
Double
play
tap
this
to select.
sound. We got a food bag. Let's see what the food bag's got.
Food bag.
Let's go grab
Add to
it.
your hand.
All right, so food bag is a mixed bag of tricks. You never know what you're going to get from the food bag. One of my favorite things in a food bag are bananas and apples. They're great.
Apple. Mana cost 0.
Ah,
Food. Restore 8
perfect.
health. Can only be used once.
This is,
Button.
when it says only
Double tap to
use
select.
once, it means it's one-time use. What they should have said was, what they kind of made a mistake with the wording was it says you can only use once. That's not true. You can use it multiple times, but you can only use this card, this instance of the card once. It's a one-time use card. But the wording is very similar to a couple of other spell cards which says once per battle or once. So those cards can only be used once no matter how many of them are in your deck. So you want to really be careful with certain cards. You can't have 2 of them in your deck. It's useless. They don't work. Okay, so we have an apple. So we have infinite health, basically. The apple's going to give us 7 hit points back, and it's overkill. So right now we just want to empty our hand because we're going to be having that apple sit around for a long time. So we got the apple.
Lettuce. Mana cost 1. Food. Draw 3 cards. Can only be used once.
Lettuce is really
Button.
good if you're
Double tap to
playing
select.
a deck that drops a lot of cards, or if you have a weapon that discards cards.
Carrot. Mana cost 0. Action. Look at the top 3 cards in your deck and pick one to draw. Can only be used once.
Carrot is a great card for
Double tap to
looking,
select.
for searching. Again, Carrot is a search card, very similar to Equip, where Equip is specifically after weapons. Carrot is after the top 3 cards of your deck. It's a kind of a Yu-Gi-Oh kind of tactic, if you remember that old card game.
Carrot. Mana cost 0.
So in this
Action.
case, we're
Look at
going
the
to
top 3
take
cards in your
apple.
deck. Lettuce. Apple. Mana cost
Go
0.
ahead,
Food.
apple.
Restore 8 coins 10.
All right, we're doing really good. All right, so let's go ahead and flame down somebody else.
Slorm. Attack 2. Slorm. Attack 2. Player info. Left weapon. Claymore. Your hand. Fire. Mana cost 1. Select a target. Target Slorm. Health 6/6. Target Slorm. Health 6 button.
Let's get
Target Slorm. Health 6/6.
this Slorm.
Fire. Mana cost 1. Action. Heat.
All right, I think we have,
Freeze. Block 2 damage.
right now our hand is a little full,
Button.
so when your hand
Double tap to
starts
select.
getting full, don't keep drawing cards because you'll lock yourself down. So try to use up your hand first.
Fire. Cover. Mana cost 0. Action. Fire. Mana cost. Select a target. Target Slorm. Health 4/6.
And
Slorm.
boom.
Cover. Mana cost 0.
So
Action.
we got
Block
that
4 damage.
guy down
Cost
to
1 less
2
for each point of
hit
damage your
points.
strongest weapon has.
And we got one guy with
Button.
6. So
Double
I
tap
don't
to
think
select.
we have any more. Let's see if we
Fire.
have any more.
Fire. Mana cost
Do
0.
we have another
Action. Heat.
mana?
Select a target.
Yeah,
Target
cool.
Slorm. Health 2/6.
Let's kill this Slorm.
Slorm. Cover. Slorm defeated. Cover.
All right,
Mana cost 0.
and as you
Action. Block 4
heard,
damage.
I
Cost 1
switched
less for
over
each point
to
of damage your
ice,
strongest weapon has.
or freeze, excuse me.
Bottom bar. End turn.
Okay, let's find out.
Button.
It probably dropped
Double
another
tap to
food
select.
bag.
Exit level.
Okay,
Button.
so
Double tap
you
to
get,
select.
okay, well here's the one bad thing. There's a bug. When you beat the last enemy that allows you to escape the level, the loot that particular enemy drops is overwritten by the exit level. That's unfortunate. I would love the developer to fix that. I mentioned that in a previous video. I'd really like to fix that. Because we have a right to get the loot from killing the monster, but you can't. Because the loot is overwritten because the developer designed it so, hey, you want to get out of here, but I don't want to get out of there. I want to get the loot, because the loot could possibly make the difference between winning and losing the entire ladder. So I really wish the developer would fix it so that the exit level doesn't overwrite, OVERWRITE, a computer term, it doesn't overwrite the loot that's dropped by the monster. Right now, it does. So in this case, because we lose that particular loot, let's just remember we're in freeze mode. So let's find out if we have any more mana left.
Bottom bar. End turn. Your hand. Cover. Fire. Mana cost. Player info. Right weapon. Health 13/15. Freeze 0. Mana 2/4.
We have 2 mana left, so that's good. So let's freeze the damage from this monster.
Your hand. Cover. Mana cost 0. Player info. Slorm. Attack 2.
He has 2 attack. This is a perfect time to use our freeze abilities to block its damage.
Player info. Left weapon. Your hand. Cover. Mana cost 0. Fire. Mana cost 1.
And
Select
there
a
it
target.
is.
Target Slorm. Attack
Let's
2.
target it and block
Button.
all its damage.
Cover. Mana
There you
cost
go.
0. Action.
Clink.
Block 4 damage.
All
Cost
right.
1 less for each
So
point of
there
damage
it
your
is.
strongest weapon has.
I could leave if I want. I
Double
don't
tap to
have
select.
to worry. And by the way, when you win, you're going to come out and you'll be back on the level map, and your game will save automatically. So don't worry, you don't have to save and quit. It just sits where you left it last time. The save menu, it is pretty good. I would say it's been cleaned up a little bit. It's working much more efficiently. I had a couple of problems in the very beginning. It would kick me back, like it would lose memory. I know another game that does that a lot, and that's Empire's Order. It forgets where you are, and if you're in a bad spot, it just drops you back like 2 or 3 days, which is really unfortunate. Conjury hasn't done that to me yet, so I'm really appreciative of that. And I don't mean to throw Empire's Order under the bus. That's a fantastic game. And I have a huge playlist on Empire's Order if you're looking for another really positive, amazing card game with really cool music. So let's go ahead, and I like to kill every enemy on a level, so let's kill this guy.
Bottom bar, end turn. Your hand, apple, mana cost 0, food, restore 8 health.
Let's
Can
go
only be
with
bottom bar, end turn. Draw a card. Button.
Oh, we have a draw
Double tap to
card,
select.
so
End turn. Your hand, apple,
we
mana
can
cost
actually
0,
do
food,
some.
restore 8 health.
We
Can
can't
only be
do
used once.
damage, so let's
Button.
just kill this enemy.
Double tap to
Since
select.
this level's over, I'm just gonna kill this enemy.
Player info, left weapon, claymore, weapon, select a target, target Slorm, health 4/6.
Let's just go ahead and kill it.
Left weapon, Slorm defeated, +2 coins.
Yeah, I
left
didn't
weapon,
want to break
nothing
our
equipped.
weapon, but there's no more enemies.
Button.
Okay, now
Double tap to select.
once the exit menu is out, this loot will not be overwritten.
Your hand, cover, bottom bar, end turn, draw a card. Loot bag,
There it is, see?
button.
The
Double tap
first
to
loot
select.
bag is destroyed, but this one, thank goodness, because now that the exit button is there, this loot will not be overwritten. So,
Bottom bar, loot bag,
and this is why you want to kill
Button.
every monster, because
Double tap
you
to
can
select.
get loot bags. Let's go ahead and take that loot bag.
Add to your deck.
Hopefully it's a good card. I'm actually looking for a particular card that lets you get the effect of both effects on a card.
Fame, mana cost 2, action, deal damage equal to that of your strongest weapon.
Ooh, Fame is
Button.
really good for
Double tap to select.
if you have a high damage weapon deck, Fame is great.
Add to your deck, fame, mana cost 2, action, deal damage equal to that of your strongest weapon.
So that's good.
Double
It's
tap
not
to select.
bad.
Chill, mana cost 1, action, freeze, draw 2 cards.
Okay, so
Button.
chill is
Double
great.
tap to
This
select.
is one of the few cards that works when your chill meter's up.
Fame, chill, mana cost 1, action,
It does
freeze, draw 2
cost
cards.
you 1
Button.
mana. It's your pot
Double
of
tap to select.
greed. It's not awesome, but it isn't terrible either.
Snag, mana cost 1, action, draw a card, it costs 0.
Snag is probably
Double tap to
much
select.
better than chill because the card you draw with Snag comes in at 0 mana. Snag is one of the most undervalued and underrated cards in the entire game because any card it draws comes with 0 mana cost, except for Boomerang, because Boomerang has a rule. Boomerang can never drop below 1 mana. So Snag is great if you don't have Boomerang. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Snag. It's one of the best cards.
Draw a card. Snag, mana cost 1,
And
exit level.
All right.
Button.
So
Double
now
tap to select.
we've beaten every monster. No new monsters will come, and then we can just go ahead and leave the level.
Bottom bar, end turn. Your hand, bottom bar, end turn, your hand, snag, bottom bar, end turn.
Let's end a turn.
Escape,
And then the game automatically exits you, which is fine.
escape,
And then you just listen for the button.
next.
Look,
Button.
listen for next,
Double
and
tap to
then
select.
double tap on button.
Map screen, location mid underscore boss, floor 5, disabled.
All right,
Button.
so that's it.
Double tap to
That
select.
is our Quill introduction / tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. That is going to be it for Happy Hour. I thank you all very much for coming. Every Friday, I'll be doing Happy Hour unless there's something really unusual going on. I'm trying to be consistent here, and I really appreciate all of your likes, all of your subscriptions. We're moving toward, I do believe, 110 subscriptions. So thank you very much, folks. I really appreciate it. And for all of you who are casually watching and haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate you subscribing and placing it on all with your double tap and also liking it. That would be great. And if you have a comment, a question, a suggestion of how I can do things better, or not necessarily better, but you have some suggestions of games and you have some cool things you wanted me to try, or if you have some deck ideas that you're using and you want to chat with other folks, feel free to drop those in the comment. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate you so much. Have a great weekend. And if you are having fun, please don't forget, take an Uber, Be safe out there if you're caning. Make sure you look out for that snow. Look out for those sewer grates that are full of water. Be cautious out there, folks. The snow and the rain makes visibility really difficult. And as a visually impaired person walking along the street, be very cautious. And of course, I'm going to be a pop-up to everybody. I just want you to be safe, okay? So be safe, take an Uber, and I'll hear you all next Friday on Happy Hour. This has been Conjury. Thank you, MyNoise, and thank you all for coming. I'll hear you next time. Take care.